Buddy Babooni here. We've got some gameplay footage for you. This is the Top Cut semifinals of Thomas J. Chambers tournament. And I've been putting off this video. I've been sitting on the footage. I've been putting it off. Spoiler alert, I did lose this match. So we're just going to do some dissection. And I think studying your victories is not as important as studying your defeats. So we're going to kind of break down what was going on in this game, why I ended up falling short, and seeing what we can learn. So before I get into the gameplay, let's talk about the deck list here. So I ended up piloting a deck called Big Nativity. It's a 100 card version of a Nativity deck. If you remember my Nationals deck list from a couple of years ago, that was a Nativity Herod. So this is basically, if I had to describe it, it's a bigger version of that deck. It's trying to use the power of the Nativity offense with the power of the Herod defense, and also the power of a 100 card deck list to ride to victory. And this deck is honestly a blast to play. One of my favorite decks of all time, Nativity Herods, and being able to play it in a bigger version just makes it even that much more interesting for me. I won't be able to look at every card and show you what every card does, but basically we are playing a card called Harvest Time, which this deck can really get to consistently and early. And we're going to play all the Lost Souls out of our deck. And we're going to start stacking these annoying Lost Soul effects, like Accusers, which shuts down Old Testament offenses. Forsaken shuts down banding decks. Crowd stops Matthew. Wicked helps with our protection enhancements. Humble lets us have a lot of options to deal with opponents preventing mechanics. So you get the picture. And one of my favorite things to do is put out Imitate and Lawless on turn one. So each turn you get to basically activate Lawless. So you're basically drawing an extra card every turn. And that's really powerful. So that's kind of the strategy there. And in this type 1 format, I realized that the most important thing you need to be doing is negating neutrals. So when picking a deck to pilot, in my mind, I only had decks in focus that played character that could negate neutrals. So for example, the best one is probably Resurrection Revealer. So I knew I wanted to play 100 cards. I knew I wanted to play negate neutrals, and I've just been having a lot of fun with Nativity. Especially with the late game you can do with Daniel, where you can just play a normal Nativity game, and then on like the final turn of the game, flip up the cross, put a possessing spirit in their territory, and attack with Daniel. It's just GG. And there are ways around that, like lurking and stuff. But for the most part, it's a solid late game strategy that is really deadly. Nativity loves having a choose the blocker effect. Anyways, is there anything else I would like to mention? It's using a lot of dominant restricts. So you saw I had Complacent, I have Lacking Prophecy, have the cross. And the idea with these type of cards is that I really like pushing a Mary into battle. Mary with the cross and dominant restrict, and a Herod's Temple active makes her really hard to block. If you try to block her normally with the characters, I can just toss her down or toss them down. And if you try to band, I have Forsaken to negate the banding, or Great White Throne to push out your stuff when you do try to band. So anyways, that was like one of the really strong attacks, and also late game for Daniel to try and lock in. And also having a defense that plays really well with dominant restrict, like Herod's plus Herod's Temple, they love having that dominant restrict and allow me to only play 6 enhancements in a 100 card deck, 6 evil enhancements. One more change I made to the deck right before the tournament started was adding Outsiders to the main deck, the Crimson Brown version. The reason that he's good is that if a lone hero is attacking you, you can block with Outsiders and activate the Abomination of Desolation to discard them. And the reason I added this is because Jay and I had played some playtesting games earlier, and he just trounced me completely with this Outsiders card. I would attack with Mary, and he'd block with Outsiders, and I couldn't play any of my enhancements because they didn't really deal with being able to stop Abomination of Desolation. So I was just like, oh man, this is really good. And then I reasoned like, it becomes even better when you pair Outsiders with Herod's Temple, because what you do is you activate Herod's Temple, block with Outsiders, put them in special initiative. And even if they do have an enhancement that can stop you, you're just going to toss it with Herod's Temple. So it's an off-color splash, but it's really strong. And we'll talk about this card in the coming match. But anyways, I think that's enough context. Let's get into the gameplay here. So the interesting thing about this format, it's not your traditional tournament. There's a couple of additional rules that were added on to spice things up. So one of them is that we got to see each other's deck list before we played. So here's me like studying his deck list. He was running a Nativity deck list, Nativity offense with a Thief defense. He also realized the power of negate neutrals, so he wanted to play a deck that could have access to that. In his version of Nativity, in addition to playing Res Revealer, he was also playing Akeem a lot, and the way he was empowering his Akeem was through Heavenly Host those tokens. So that kind of, for me, seeing that decision really validated my feelings about how important negate neutrals are. But yeah, anyways, his thief defense is also one that gave me some headaches, and he's been rocking it in tournaments and practice games. So I wasn't surprised to see that. Another addition to the format of the tournament is that it was timed on a chess clock. Each of us had, I think it was 45 minutes to finish 3 rounds, three games, and it was the best 2 out of 3. So I knew going into this that would probably make me not favored because I'm a 100 card deck and it takes a while to shuffle and stuff, but I still thought I could pull off a victory within the time limit. So we'll see if that assumption was naive or not. All right, going into this, I think Jay has the higher seed, so he could choose who goes first. It's nice we get to see a little bit of his hand here from the camera. All right, so lurking, seized by Babylon, Annunciation, Child is Born, Highwayman, Second Coming, Messianic Messenger, and Herod's Temple. Looks like he's going to choose to go first. Not the fastest nativity start in the world I've ever seen. So there's that chess clock coming in. You can see it at the side there. And now we get to see my hand. I have the turn 1 harvest time, which is what you want to see. No evil characters, but I do have a lawless, which could help me block on turn 1. I could also fire off the harvest time before he attacks and try to get a dole down, so that if he searches, I can get an evil character to block. So let's see. Yeah, those are his start abilities. He's gonna pass it to me. We're trying to fiddle with the timer. Anyways, let's pass that. I don't think I had any stars, so we're gonna do a lawless here. There's an evil character. There's 4 evil characters, so I'll take the Herod's Guard. Pretty easy there. And I don't know why I'm hesitating. Now the Lost Souls, his Lost Souls activated. He gave himself a meek token because he's playing Good Shepherd. And if he attacks with Good Shepherd, he gets to draw cards equal number of Lost Souls, meek Lost Souls he controls. All right, so he does have Messianic Messenger and the Annunciation, so it'll be interesting to see if he wants to play Annunciation now or go straight to battle. Try to use that as a battle winner of sorts. Before he goes to battle, I would like to play my harvest time, get all my Lost Souls down. I think I did this primarily because I wanted to get Dole online. I don't think I got to see what was in his hand, but so I paused. I started the timer, so we'll see how long this harvest time takes to resolve. But as you can imagine, just searching through a 100 card deck for all your cards is not a quick action to take. All right, so that was the action. I'm shuffling my deck while he considers activating his Lost Souls. So the downside of me doing this right now is that his Lost Souls are going to activate first because he's the active player. I also triggered his Darkness, so he gets an extra evil character to block next turn, which could end up biting me really bad. But I figured it's worth it. I know he's getting some stuff, but I'm going to get more. Next turn, I'm going to be doing Imitate Lawless shenanigans. Okay, so I think he was just going to attack, but now he's just going Messianic Messenger, grabbing Resurrection, and he's playing Resurrection before battle. Okay, yep. So I have a Distress down, which is currently preventing his Resurrection Revealer in this territory there. So yeah, it's interesting to see if he's going to attack this turn or not. Looks like he's just going to pass the turn to me. Okay, very interesting. All right, so it's my turn now. I get to draw 3 cards and then trigger a Imitate on a Lawless, which snags up a Deceiver. So currently I'm ahead in time, so we'll see how long this takes for me to take my first turn here. You can't really see my hand, unfortunately, so we don't know what I drew, and my memory is failing me right now. I feel pretty good. I have all these Lost Souls out, negating his Res Revealer, which I know is incredibly important. Activate the Great White Throne, even though I don't have any evil cards in my graveyard. There we can see my hand. I know for sure I have a Shepherds of Bethlehem. I think what's really awkward for me is maybe I have some battle dominance I want to play, but because of complacent, I'm not really able to do that. I use my Wanderer to exchange for Distressed. And let's pause here. For some reason, I thought he was on Herod's. So I negated his Herod's Temple with my woes. I was like, oh man, if he's on Herod's, like I'm gonna get screwed. So that I had a complete mental brain fart and forgot he was on Thieves. So knowing he was on Thieves, I would not have played my 3 woes there. So a little mistake for me, trying to keep track of everything and just totally losing track of things right now. But I figured out a pretty good attack. Turn 1 Daniel with some enhancements in hand. Plunderers, he's going to prevent the next to take it. So I throw away a enhancement there to try and get initiative. But unfortunately, lurking, I think he has a humble down and he has less cards in hand than me. So he's going to be able to play lurking under my Forsaken and then band into a Deceiver, activating outside Outsiders, who activates A-Bomb from his deck. And I did not see that coming and got totally destroyed by that one. So yeah, there's a couple things I could have done. Maybe it was like I could have traded my Wanderer for the Humble there. So I could have turned off his Humble and made his Lurking useless. Didn't know about the Lurking. I knew about the Deceiver, but yeah, good block. And I got stonewalled there with even a pretty good attack. Get down 8 cards in hand. Pretty slow turn 1. And then I wasted my 3 woes already. And having an evil 3 woes down against a Nativity deck is not the best feeling in the world, especially when they have access to Mary. Yeah. So he's activating his new Covenant, grabbing a banding enhancement, and he's trying to figure out if he has enough juice, enough firepower to break through. So things are still going good for me. I'm still up on clock here. Not ideal with Daniel there, but since he skipped his first turn, I'm still feeling pretty good about the state of the game. Here comes Res Revealer revealing Star of Bethlehem. So I made a critical misplay. Remember how I said I added Outsiders to my deck? I ended up realizing like, oh man, Outsiders block here would be so good. I have Humble out, and so that would make it so that my artifacts cannot be prevented. So I make another brain fart here where I end up reaching for my reserve, looking for my Outsiders. And I realize after I did that, like my Outsiders is in the main deck, not the reserve. And there's no takebacks, right? I can't say like, oops, can I go grab the Outsiders from my main deck? So I only grabbed my only legal target in my reserve, which is a Foreign Wives, which looks really silly against what he's got going. But yeah, Outsiders plus a bomb would have wrecked Res Revealer here, pretty sure. But now I'm just giving him initiative because he's an 8/6, I'm a 6/6, and I don't really play enhancements. So yeah, just really, really frustrating moment there. Okay, I don't want to make any mistakes or excuses for myself here, but the night before the tournament, I think I only had an hour of sleep. I just couldn't go to sleep. I was too excited for the match or the game coming up. And yeah, so at this point, it's been a really long day of tournaments, and I'm not functioning on all firepower here. So maybe if I had more sleep, I would have made the correct play. And also, something Tyler talks about is know your deck, and making last changes to my deck at the last minute made it so that I made a misplay here. So I didn't know my deck well enough. So he has a Res Revealer online now. I'm able to use my woes to negate him and then get my Lost Souls back online and my neutrals. And getting my neutrals online is the best way I could do to keep in this game. So I'm still up on clock here. I had to give up a soul there that I didn't have to give up, and I could have got his Res Revealer off the table. So at this point, I feel maybe a little tilted. Just trying to work through it. His hand's protected by a billion things, so I'm just trying to figure out what I need to do here. Maybe I'm trying to shut off his Abomination of Desolation. I'm getting a Res Revealer here because I'm thinking like once I put it down, it'll be on. But I'm not realizing that Angel of the Winds is not a Gospel Angel. So I'm operating now under false assumptions about if his neutrals are negated. But yeah, it sounds like I'm just trying to play a banding enhancement right now. I think I have a banding enhancement in hand, and I'm just trying to resolve and just get a bunch of value. And here's a cool play that Jay does where he blocks with Outsiders and he activates a idol from his reserve that negates Daniel. And I always thought I was kind of maybe protected from scenarios like this because of Res Revealer, but he points out to me that Res Revealer is currently not doing anything. So I'm not sure exactly what happened. So yeah, so he went Outsiders activate idol, negate Daniel. So that would push Outsiders back out of battle. And then he's able to block again with Outsiders because he's generic. And so now that Daniel's negated, he's able to use A-Bomb to discard him. So it was just a really good play, and one that I didn't see coming. But I had the Reprimand Repercussion to negate the A-Bomb. But unfortunately, that gave him initiative to play a ambush, where he's able to use Plunders to prevent the next and Temple Thieves to negate the Reprimand Repercussion. And so Daniel gets killed by A-Bomb again. So yeah, just really unfortunate. And I think I have a bunch of dominants in my hand, but I can't play them because of Complacent. Would have loved to use a Resurrection there for sure before he blocked. Or Star of Bethlehem. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what's in my hand. So something I'm worried about is choose the blocker shenanigans. And I know Foreign Wives, he's a pretty easy target. So I use my Great White Throne to discard Foreign Wives there. But yeah, having 2 of my first attacks thwarted by Outsiders plus A-Bomb feels really bum. I'm really sad about that. Especially because my Nativity deck, I'm trying to get Res Revealers online as quickly as possible to stop this. So before the tournament, I knew I had a weakness to A-Bomb, specifically pushing lone heroes and then getting ambushed by A-Bomb. But And I could have done some hedging against that by adding No Need for Spices to my deck. I ended up not doing that because I was like, oh man, I think what I'm just going to do instead is just double down on Reservealers. And so I put Chamber of Angels in my deck. So I can go Resurrection, put out Reservealer, and then get that Chamber out too, and just really try to keep my Reservealers alive. But unfortunately, against Thieves, that's not a really good idea. They have the Thief, and they have a bunch of ways to get rid of my Reservealers, so... yeah, it's unfortunate. Okay, so you played Son of God Second Coming, rescued the Forsaken Lost Soul and Humble. He's using the Messianic Messenger to attack and grab a Nativity card from his deck, which gives me a dull trigger, and I should be ticking down my clock here, but I'm not used to the chess clock here. Yep, let's see, he has 35 minutes. I have 30... something. So right now I'm just trying to get initiative. I know he can't play dominance, and Herodias' daughter gets a nice value where I can reserve Bethlehem Stable and also play my enhancements. So because I have a regardless of protect enhancement, I get to protect all lost souls. Oh, sorry. I have Wicked Lost Soul, which even if he was running Soul Protect, I could get around that. So just an easy block for me. That's why I love Dom Restrict and Herod's, but it's a double-sided sword for sure. So I don't have a Herod's Temple out right now, which is unfortunate. I'm using a Lawless. I put my Son of God Second Coming on the bottom of my deck, which is definitely a bad feeling. We would have preferred to draw those. Score right now, I think he has 3 Lost Souls and I have 0. So now my Reservealer's online. Now I'm able to get another Gospel Angel, and having delivered is nice. Doing some more searching, ticking my clock down some more. What am I trying to do now if I'm in this position? I think I'm just trying to set up for getting as many characters out for Star Bethlehem to try and catch me up in this game, and just trying to plan on locking him out of the rest of the game here. But yeah, I think my plan right now is just to try and resolve a banding enhancement to swing the tempo to activate the cross. So Jay's sitting on a Prince of the Air in a blindness. Very interesting. And a Seized by Babylon. Yeah, I feel like the game's anybody's game at this point. I think I'm trying to get my hand size down to play around humble shenanigans. But if first you don't succeed, try again. So I'm attacking again with Daniel. trying to resolve this banding enhancement here, man. So let me play it, man. Let me play it. Daniel pressed the cross, usually pretty good, but against his particular set of blockers there, it's not the best. Because I could choose Outsiders again as a blocker, but instead I choose Plunderers. Plunderers, causing me so many headaches. So I don't think I'm negating his banding at this point in time. But I think the reason why I chose Plunderers was is that even if he banded to somebody that negated Daniel, he couldn't just come in and block again with the Outsiders, which is what I was worried about. So he's preventing the next to take it, and it really sucks to give him a flight into Egypt there. All right, he's going to try to interrupt the battle and capture me, but now I'm able to resolve my banding enhancement. So I should be ticking down my timer here. And here I'm able to get my Star of Bethlehem and Son of God and toss the next. Don't have Gospel Unity, so I can't really do Mary, unfortunately. If I really wanted to activate Mary this turn, yeah, I don't think there's anything I could do, because I'd have to get rid of Daniel and Angel of the Wind somehow. But in the Nativity Mirror match, it's really helpful to ban to Mary, your opponent's Mary, and then convert her to Meek. It makes it basically so that the opponent can't really, can't really use Mary anymore. So, missed opportunity. So there's Star Bethlehem, Son of God, getting the 2 most important dominants out of my deck there. One from Reservealer, one from Messianic Messenger. Yeah, so thinking here, if I want to try and play smarter, I think I should have tried to use my Simeon to ban to my Reservealer, just in case he has a negate for the whatchamacallit, the Flight or Hospitality Bethany. And then lastly, we're doing Angel of the Winds. So you can see what I'm doing here is really powerful play, but look how much time it's eating off my clock. And if I'm not able to win game 1, all this time is basically wasted. So that's a downside of playing this on a timed chess clock. All right, I don't even know what I'm getting here. Elizabeth, maybe. Joseph doesn't really do much because I have so many cards in my hand. Yeah, I'm taking more time to count my cards, and I should just really be trying to play faster here. But hindsight is 20/20, as they say. All right, so Seized by Babylon, real resolve, captures Daniel, gets him out of the picture, but now he's left fighting a big bad Nativity band. So that was nice. I got to get my Son of God and Star Bethlehem, and Star Bethlehem's going to be able to draw me 6 cards and be nice. Another decision I had made about this deck was I decided not to play John the Fisherman and Zacchaeus. So my reasoning was I was scared of Prince of the Air, and Nativity is kind of weak and plays a lot of brigades. And I also found Mary, Empty Tomb Hero Mary, the one that converts to Meek and negates stuff. And I was figuring, like, if I'm attacking on turn 1, like, I play Resurrection, get Mary, convert her to Meek. Like that's a really strong turn 1, and that's probably just as good as John. And I don't need Zacchaeus anymore because I'm playing Daniel. But it does make my turns where I'm banding a lot weaker because I'm not able to band in John and Zacchaeus in the same turn, where I'm able to toss the next in reserve. So that's something I've noticed. So my banding, I do play a lot of banding in this deck, but it's just not as powerful as it could be. Yeah. And also something that is bad about not playing John is that on turns you want to go Star Bethlehem, you really want to have a star card that says top deck a dominant. Like that makes your Star Bethlehems that much better. So I do miss that part about John, but I still like Mary, still like John, still like Zacchaeus, and maybe I'm just playing too scared of Prince of the Year. Maybe I could see them coming back in a future version of this deck, just because like Zacchaeus plus the cross is also like decent. Okay, so he fired off Star of Bethlehem. He's giving his guys protection. He drew some cards. My Foreign Wives is down, so I don't have access to that. Mary's there. I don't have Herod's Temple out, fortunately. I do have Complacent, so no dominance. So it's my block. I should be ticking down the chess clock here, but I'm not. Herod's Guard prevents the next, goes to somebody. So he's protecting Nativity stuff. Okay. So there's my Herod's Temple, finally. So if he wasn't protecting Nativity stuff, I could force Mary out of battle and add somebody else there and get initiative, but unfortunately that's not an option. So yeah, I think I'm just hoping he doesn't have enough things to toss me down, and I know he probably does. So he tosses for 2, tosses for 4, and then he's going to toss for 4 more. Yeah, Herod did. I gave him the Lost Soul that restricts him from playing dominance till the end of his next turn. So that should open the door for me. Maybe if I'm thinking about it, I could keep track of how many dominance he's played and give him Complacent and start opening up my offensive dominance. Because yeah, he doesn't even have any dominance in hand. But I didn't really know that until now. So let's see, I have 38 minutes. He's down to 32. Or sorry, I have 33 minutes. So we're kind of even on time right now. What did his Mary take out? Forget. I don't even remember. I haven't been able to get to my Mary this game yet, but maybe I can get to her right now. Can't keep tacking it with Daniel because Daniel got captured and now he's in my land of redemption. So the score is 1-4. I need to definitely get a soul here. I get John the Forerunner, and now I have access to that star ability, which lets me top deck a dominant, which is really nice. And Flight into Egypt's in my discard pile, so now I can give my guys protection and pretty much guarantee that I walk in this turn. I don't think there's a lot of things Jay can do to stop me. Yeah, I'm going to be drawing like 8 cards here, top decking a dominant. Yeah, this is like a big power turn. And this is probably where I lose a lot of time just trying to pilot this turn correctly. And yeah, it just takes a lot of time to do all this. So I think I'm going to try to skip a little bit of here. So I think I end up drawing a bunch of cards, and then let's see, I attack with Messianic Messenger banded to Mary. He blocks with Judas. I think I attack with Mary, negated Complacent maybe, or maybe I exiled Plunderers. I don't remember. Anyways, it's Judas, mediums, Prince. I think he's like trying to underdeck my defense and go for the victory here. Okay, he knows he can't block me, but he is trying to make it so that he can win next turn. He knows he doesn't need to block me for the rest of the game. He knows he just needs to attack. So what am I trying to do? I'm trying to set up a Star of Bethlehem again. So I top deck Star of Bethlehem, and then I bounce some cards. Okay. Do I have a plan for how to get Star of Bethlehem? I have a crouch choice at least. So I know I can guarantee to get it next turn or at the end of my turn, right? Banded to his Mary to do that. That's good. That's good. So yeah, there's crouch choice to grab that Star Bethlehem. Watching this VOD, it's like, oh, that's how I was down on clock. I resolved 2 Star Bethlehems in the same turn. Oh. All right, so I think I get to just draw an insane amount of cards again. So I think I topped at Glory that turn, put down a bunch of heroes. And let's see, Jay's turn. He activates the cross, which is negated. He plays Lost Child Found to bounce some things. Bounces Res Revealer, bounces Temple. So yeah, this is really good play. And he bounces his Res Revealer. Lost Child Found is really disruptive. Probably going to cost me the game there. Here's another misplay I made this game. I think I was intending to play Glory of the Lord. So here's why. So here's what happened that turn. I got Glory of the Lord. I was intending to play it during his turn and then I just kind of forgot. And then he activated the cross, and I was like, oh, dang it. Now I can't play Glory of the Lord. But then I realized too late that I was negating his cross with my Res Revealer. And so I could have still played Glory there, but then he bounced my Res Revealer and then his cross is online. So now the opportunity to play Glory there is just passed. So now I've lost that opportunity. So that's what happened there. And I don't think I have a block for this because he bounced my Temple, which is very unfortunate. I think I have a bunch of dominants in my hand again, just not able to play him. So yeah, I think I had a bunch of ways to stop him. I go Herod Agrippa, negate the cross. But if he didn't flip up the cross, like I think I could have just like gone Herod Agrippa, negate complacent, play Falling Away a Mary or something. I think my hand's decent, but it's not going to beat this where he bans in Zacchaeus and John, tosses next, and reserves Herod, and that's GG. So unfortunately, that is going to do it for this game. Let me see if I show my hand here at all. Yeah, he bans in Zacchaeus and John, and I end up losing the game 5-3. So I think I hadn't played Second Coming that game. So in theory, if I'd been able to block there with Glory of the Lord, I could have. And I had a pretty good glory turn because I had Herod Agrippa and Herod Antipas, or Herod Archelaus. So no matter if you attacked Banding Chain or Lone Hero, I think I was pretty covered. So yeah, unfortunate misplay that definitely cost me. I think I made like a couple different misplays that game that cost me that match. So anyways, 40 minutes down. I have 24 minutes on the clock. Jay has 31 minutes. So let's get into the next game. It starts off with the Accusers and Bethlehem Stable out for me. I have Crowd's Choice in my hand, which is always interesting to see on turn 1. I think I'm going to go Harvest Time here. I'll just speed through this. Yeah, Harvest Time, play all the souls. So I have 24 minutes on the clock, and after that I have like 22, so it takes a couple minutes to do that. There's the cross. And what's my turn 1 going to be? I think it's going to be Mary, the lone young Mary. So he's going to block with Deceiver. Plunders. The Plunders is the bane of my existence this game. Yeah, Plunderers is pretty good last game, being able to take Faith Unbowed, which he used it against me in combat to win a battle. And then also he took the Star of Bethlehem, which he used to toss down some stuff. So Faith Unbowed, I think I'd humble out. Yeah, I'm not sure. Did I miss something where he took... Why did he not take something there? It's Plunders, attacks. Am I missing something? Why did he not take Faith Unbowed? I'm not negating him, I think. Plunders to Judas to... Oh, he's trying to put me in special initiative. I think I have humble, which is... But yeah, I think he should have taken that Faith Unbowed. He drew Virgin Birth, looks at the top of his deck, gets to grab something, he'll pick up the Gabriel there. Oh, and it's why is my clock ticking down? How long has that been going on for? So yeah, when I passed turn to him, I didn't pass the chess clock. So let's see, it's been about 21 minutes. And how long is this going to happen for? Yeah, unfortunately, this is all happening on my timer. Dang it, chess clock. I hate chess clock. On one hand, I love chess clock. I think it's a really cool idea, but on the other hand, I hate it because I'm just not used to it. Yeah, this is totally just ticking down on my... I just lost like a couple minutes there. Okay, so I go Herod's Guard, get Herod Antipas. He ends up going... I think he takes Star Bethlehem. What did he take with the Reservoir there? Sorry, I'm playing this fast, but he ends up attacking Gabriel Reservoir. What did he grab? He grabbed a Resurrection. Yeah. So I think he would have loved to play this. So he's negating my cross and he's negating my complacent. But unfortunately for him, I negate his Reservoir, which turns off dominant, returns back on dominant restriction, and he makes it put his whatchamacallit away. And I'm also preventing the next, so he's going to make a blunder here where he tries to play Annunciation, but I'm preventing the next. So he just ends up throwing that away and ends up having to just awkwardly just pass back the turn here. But yeah, I'm just 10 minutes down, 20 minutes to finish 2 games. It's not looking good for me from the time clock perspective. But from Jay's perspective, he has 30 minutes to win 1 game. You know, maybe it should have been 28 and I should have had 23 minutes on the clock there. Anyways, here we go. We're just going to continue on with the game here. I think yes, my distress is preventing his Reservoirs, so I get to imitate a Lawless, which is my go-to. Get to grab something. I'm trying to figure out what I want to grab. I think Duplicity is the answer, so I'm just going to pick that up. I was thinking about the Shipwreck, but I'm like, nah, Duplicity's better. Get double hand protection down, which is nice. And then I think just Mary coming into battle. I have a banding enhancement, some dominance that are restricted. Gonna reserve Plunders there. And I'm grabbing another banding enhancement. So I already had a banding enhancement in my hand, but maybe if I wanted to diversify my threats there, I should have gone Magnificat or Child is Born, or no, I just grabbed Child is Born. Saying. Okay, Judas blocking, banding to Prince of Greece. Prince of Greece negates a card. I don't remember what he's negating, maybe like Bethlehem Stable or something. And obviously his hand's really bad. 4 cards in hand, 2 dominants he can't play, Zacchaeus and Angel Appears. But he's gonna looks like he's negating something and then discarding the cross. Gives me a window to open up a band here. Grabs a white gospel card from the reserve, bans to some of his heroes, love banned into my opponent's stuff, very nice. Gabriel negates Prince, so I get my cross back. Very nice. And then what else are we doing? I'm probably searching for Star Bethlehem and revealing that to draw to you. And maybe Gabriel is going for a gospel card. Yeah, so I know how good Flight into Egypt plus Star is against this deck. So being able to get both of those with one card is nice. But yeah, obviously this is eating into my clock. Again, these banding enhancements are strong, but they just take up a lot of time. And so in the future, if I'm playing in a timed format, I think I'll be playing less of these cards. All right. And probably, like, I don't know if I'd play 100 cards in this type of format. But anyways, it is fun. It is challenging. All right. Passing the turn, I feel pretty in control of the game. Have 2 lost souls. Don't have Herod's Temple out yet, which is unfortunate. Yeah, but the only thing that's going badly for me is the time right now. I just do not have any time, and I don't have a bunch of nativity heroes. Grabs the Child is Born there from his reserve. Grabs a Flight to Egypt with the New Covenant. I think my cross is still active, and his Reservoir was prevented by Distressed. Now he's turning off my neutrals, so it negates the cross, negates Complacent, and he's grabbing a Dominant out of his deck. And I think he learned his lesson. He's going to play the Dominant right away here. There's his Star of Bethlehem, X equals 1, so not the best star in the world. So I think he's just going to be protecting a Dominant. So yeah, just a Dominant to protect nativity heroes. That's like a buckler at that point. So there's that, and then Resurrection. Okay, he's playing all the Dominants now. But you can see how crucial the negate neutrals characters are these matches. If I was able to kill his Reservoir early, he would be having to fight through all these lost souls and the cross the hard way. So his Reservoir coming in doing some work here. Yeah, let's see, what is he doing? He's going to be trying to reserve my 2 evil characters. And I have a color guard out. The color guard's negated. So Zacchaeus and Mary just sniping away my defense there. But I don't think I'm too afraid. I do have some defense in my hand. John's revealing the next to toss. Mary's grabbing that card. So definitely not a shabby turn. Not a shabby turn at all. And what do I have? I have an Outsiders. I will be trying to turn off his dominance. So I think I'm going to be underdecking his Reservoir, and that's going to give me initiative. Oh, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what I have here. I have a Grapes of Wrath in my hand, which is spicy, looking really spicy. He has, I don't know if he has any lost souls though. So my Grapes of Wrath isn't going to auto block him. He will need to attack with another hero this turn. Okay, so what happens here? So I underdecked, I think, a couple things. So yeah, I ended up underdecking Reservoir and Herod's Temple and drew a couple cards. And then he's going to negate Outsiders and then play Glory. But then I play Grapes of Wrath to just completely blow him out of the water here. So now he has to shuffle back his guys and start a new rescue attempt. So I got rid of his Reservoir off the table, which is amazing. And I don't know why the timer's clicking down on my turn. I forgot to set the timer back. But yeah, this is Jay's. So now he's attacking with Magi plus Messianic Messenger. And the Glory is still active this turn, but I forget that. So I make another blunder here. Remember, the 1 hour sleep really kicking in. I don't think I had another evil character in my hand. So because he searched with his Messianic Messenger, I get to grab an evil character. So I could have just grabbed like a Deceiver or something to get the auto block here. But I forget about Glory happening, and I block with a character, and I try to get enhancement I can play here. Can't play it, so I have to give over the block. So that's a blunder by my part. We both blundered, so I think if he just attacks and doesn't search, he gets the soul here, but I'm happy to get his Reservoir off the table. But I do lose Mary. Very sad. All right, so I have 2 lost souls. He has 1. I gave him the Vindicated, which will restrict his dominance until the end of his next turn. I can use my chamber, or I can use Bethlehem Stable to grab Heavenly Host token, Heavenly Host character, start getting some nativity stuff down, remembering my upkeep triggers, grabbing whatever that evil card was. It was Abusive Soldiers. The reason I play Abusive Soldiers is against Jeremiah. I need to get initiative, and Abusive Soldiers is really good at that. I think it also gets initiative against Mary. Like Mary attacks. Mary's the 1/3 version of Mary. I think the white version, the white side of Mary's 1/3. So just being able to get initiative against Mary and Jeremiah is huge. Anyways, moving on with my turn, I get rid of his Distressed Lost Soul. I'm able to play Heavenly Host out and get a token, get my silver count up, get the Victorious Being going. I don't see a lot of defense in that hand from Jay's over there. Possessing Spirit, set up a auto attack there. I'm trying to play around lurking by getting cards down out of my hand so that my Forsaken stops his lurking. Trying to, and then I break up my gospel unity there. So good thing I did that after laying down possessing spirit. So there I'm just drawing a card, getting Daniel. Daniel choose it, possessing. Had I known his hand, like this is all unnecessary. I could have just attacked with whoever, but still I'm just trying to not take any chances here. And I'm trying to search through my 100 card deck, and for Daniel is time consuming. Yeah. So let's see. I have 3 Lost Souls. I don't think I've played Son of God Second Coming, so I just got to get to those now and I win. And because I have New Covenant and John the Baptist out, I can use Star Bethlehem to top deck one of my dominants and then use New Covenant to get Annunciation and the other dominant. So I'm just going to try to win on the spot right here, see if I can top deck one of my dominants and then draw the other one. Yeah, this game is looking really good for me, but obviously, yeah, the time is a problem. So Son of God is the harder card to get, or sorry, Second Coming is the harder card to get out of my deck. Son of God, I have a lot of ways to do it. Like, I think Joseph can get it. I think Reservoir can get it. But the only cards I can get Second Coming out of my deck, I think are like Annunciation, top decking it with John or something. So I didn't draw it, so I have to pass the turn back. And if I'm really thinking about the clock, if he attacks here, I just don't block. Just like, don't waste that time. I maybe will probably need any amount of time to win the next match if I get to that. So let's see. I played Glory here, trying to prevent him getting more Lost Souls, because I know I can just win on the next turn. I don't think differential matters, but just trying to make it so that turns are simple. Anyways, I think I was going to say something. I got distracted. So yeah, at the start of this game, I had 20 minutes. And if I'm able to win in like 10 minutes, that proves that maybe I have a chance here. But it's going to be really close, right? But yeah, Jay didn't draw a lot of defense that game. You see his hand is fish full of offensive cards. So he's under Vindicated right now. Really limits his options. I don't think I have an evil character in my deck that can get Son of God out of the deck somehow. Here's an interesting situation. Like, let's say you're in my position and maybe you don't have a New Covenant. What you can do is when you block, you can activate your Herod's Temple if you have one, reserve the top 4 cards of your deck, and then you hope to reserve your Son of God. And in your upkeep, you try to get it back with Bethlehem Stable. So that's like a fun play that I've thought about. I don't think it's ever come up for me, but maybe one day it will. So yeah, I'm just taking a bunch of time to do what? Nothing. What am I doing? Spending all this time that I don't need to be spending. Could just give him the soul. So yeah, I spend a lot of time just to block with Herod and die. Great, good job, Tim. Anyways, I'm learning how to play under a clock is fun. All right, my turn, and I have like a Victorious Being, which can go grab Reservoir, which can go grab Son of God, or I can go Annunciation or New Covenant to Annunciation. I wasn't even thinking about the Annunciation line, but Jay literally like, hey, are you gonna use Annunciation to get Son of God? I'm like, oh, that'll do it. I should do that. So thanks, Jay, for helping me find the line there. So I have 11 minutes on clock, where maybe I should have, I don't know, if we're trying to be really specific about how much time is left on each person's clock. There have been moments where both of us have forgotten to like send the chess clock over. So maybe at the end of the day, it's all balancing it. Okay, let's go on to the next game. The next and final game. I think at this point, I'm feeling pretty discouraged. Like 11 minutes doesn't feel like a lot of time. And then, yeah, I think I just really kind of blundered my first turn here. So what I'm trying to do is trying to set up a nice Resurrection turn 1. Nativity does have some really good Resurrection turns, but I drew my Complacent on the first turn of the game. And 10% of the games that'll happen to me. And I think I have a really good hand if it wasn't for Complacent, which is very unfortunate. So I'll get to take a peek at his hand here with I have Joseph, John, Victorious Being. The plan was, or in a perfect world, attack with Victorious Being, draw a card, get to Reservoir, grab Gospel Dominant, play Resurrection ban to John and Joseph, grab Nativity something, Prophet. Oh, and also get Mary out of my deck. Mary converts to Meek. But because I have Complacent in my hand, it's just a disaster. Okay, so looking at his hand, I know he has access to Outsiders this turn because he has Deceiver. He can go Deceiver, activate A-Bomb, or Deceiver to Outsider to activate A-Bomb. So it really kind of limits my options right now. And I don't really know what I was thinking here. I'm just kind of tilted. I drew my own. I have to shuffle away my Resurrection there. The Resurrection probably wasn't going to turn out anyways, and now I'm trying to figure out like how do I pivot. I should have been prioritizing trying to get a way to put 2 heroes in the battle right now, but because I got Resurrection Revealer, like all my heroes now, wait, I think I could have gone like Joseph, get Mary, Band of Mary. I'm really thinking about it, because like did I have any enhancements in my hand? Good enhancements. Let's find out. I saw chance where I got to see. Here we are. So what I have, I had like a banding enhancement. So yeah, I could have gone like Joseph to Mary, but instead what I decided to do, I don't think I saw that line and just thought I could only push single heroes into battle. Could have even like attacked with Daniel, like Victorious Being to Daniel. So yeah, I think I was just a little tilted. So I ended up just passing my turn there. And then it's his turn. I thought I couldn't deal with what he had up, so I just passed a turn. And on his turn, he gets the Res Revealer out, which negates my neutrals, unfortunately. See, I don't think I have a block this turn. He attacks with John. It's a bunch of value. I don't have a block. My turn, 8 minutes on clock. I feel like I've just kind of given up at this point. I realized that now he's negating my neutrals. I can do my resurrection play. And I think I was trying to do this in order to ban to his Mary and convert his Mary to Meek. But I don't have Gospel Unity because I have Victorious Being down. So very sad. Let's see what else. I'm banded to Mary, banded to a bunch of stuff. He does Deluders, blocks with Deluders, pushes everybody out except who's left in battle? Mary? And then because he blocked from hand, I get to grab a dominant from my deck with Mary Magdalene. Grab Angel of the Lord. I use Angel of the Lord to negate or to kill Deluders. And I think he has Gates of Hell, unfortunately. Oh man. So let's see. Is there anything I could have done there to stop the Gates of Hell? I thought Mary Magdalene was negating Gates of Hell, but it does not. So who's left in battle? I don't know who's left in battle. Mary or Res Revealer? I don't know. So anyways, he's using the Thief to go and grab somebody. Thief goes to Plunder's Highwayman versus Mary. Okay. And then I think I give him an enhancement there or something. What am I doing? I have another banding enhancement. What else? What has this game? Negating something, negating the band. And then it's my initiative still. I go hospitality. Don't know what's happening. I'm sorry. I'm just getting tired. Okay. So what's happening? I don't know what's happening. Maybe I've just played that for numbers. I don't know. I think mutual destruction happened. I got a soul. Wait a second. Wait a second. So that's whose pile of lost souls is that? Oh, wait a second. Okay. So let's go. So this is so that is Jay's lost soul, and then he puts the lost soul that I rescue on top of his lost soul. This is a disaster. Let me just tell you. Right now. So the score should be 1-1, but there's a little bit of an inconsistent. Like why is he putting his lost? Okay, maybe we figure that out. Okay, yeah, I'm like, give me that. Okay. So we figured it out. Good. And then it's Jay's turn. I think he's in complete control of the game here. He plays star, gives protection. That's my turn. Yeah, because he's able to negate my complacent, he has Glory of the Lord and Angel of the Lord. I'm just like, oh man, my back's up against the wall. And so if I've been able to get rid of his Res Revealer, like this game would have been maybe a little bit different. Because all my blocks in my hand are ones that depend on me getting initiative in battle. And Angel of the Lord and Glory of the Lord are going to make that really hard to do. All right, my turn. All right, let's continue going here. I have Daniel pushing Daniel in. What happens? What happens to Dr. Daniel there? Faith Unbowed. He has nothing. He gives me a soul. It's 2-2, and it's his turn. Yeah, I think this game just comes down to his Reservoir just carrying him to victory for sure. All right, let's get it over with, shall we? I think he attacks, and then I play Herod's Guard, try to get initiative. Or no, Herod Soldiers, try to get initiative, and he has Glory, and that's GG, because then he has Son of God's Second Coming in his hand. So yeah, that's game. So good game against Jay. I think maybe if I had 2 extra minutes, I think I could have pulled it out there. But yeah, I think the first game I blundered a little bit for sure. Second game went really well. Third game, I blundered the first turn. What else happened? Wasn't able to find a way to get rid of Reservoir, and that ended up costing me the game. All right, that's all I have to say about this right now, and hope you guys enjoyed watching. I'll see you next time.